The one positive note from the game yesterday is the snap count. Let's talk about it, guys. So today I want to look at the snap count from yesterday's game and really break down what we can break down. So starting off right away, Jake Browning, 81% of the snaps. It's not really surprising. At some point, we did bring in AJ McCarron because we were up by so much. We decided not to keep... I don't know why we didn't keep Jake Browning in, to be honest. Like, there really was no reason. It's not like in any way, we wanted to win that game. Don't be wrong. But it's not like keeping Jake Browning in was going to injure him, or even if he did somehow get injured in that game. It's not like he is our first string quarterback or our starting quarterback for next year. I don't know why we didn't keep him in. It really makes no sense when I stop and think about it. In the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But now I'm like, wait, hold up. No, that made actually no sense. And surprisingly enough, I was actually very surprised about this. So Chase Brown only had 28% of the snaps, which with how that game flow went and how much we did run the ball, 35 times in that game with Joe Mixon, I'm surprised he didn't have more snaps. Now, he tied the most snaps he's ever had this season, which was week 14 and 18, and now this week at week 18. He hit 18 twice, week 14 and week 18. I'm doing great today, guys. But still did not get the most snap count of 30% was the most, and now he has the second most with 28%. And then Joe Mixon had 55% of the snaps, which kind of right around where he should be. Actually, no, that's actually very low for him. This game was so weird. We got up by such a huge margin so quickly, and I feel like every drive, we just moved the ball. So it wasn't like we had, like crazy long 70-play drives. We had either we punted the ball or we went right down the field in the Browns. Jamar Chase, though, 48% of the snaps. With him not being 100%, with him looking toward a contract this offseason, all those things and stipulations involved, he really didn't have to play this game. Now, T couldn't play this game because of injury. Would he have played this game if he was 100% healthy? I assume he would, but obviously that goes down to the fact that he wasn't healthy. He couldn't play. 48% of the snaps. At the end of the day, you can say what you want about Jamar Chase. He is a leader, and I respect him for that. Tyler Boyd played 42% of the snaps, and all I care about on this list is two players. Yoshi at 92%, which is exactly what we should have seen the last 4 weeks when it comes to the end of the season, is figure out what we have with Yoshi. But finally, that number right there makes me want to cry. Because that is the most beautiful number I have ever seen in my life. 21 snaps for Chuck Sizzle. And we finally saw him in this offense. Before this week, the most snaps he's ever had was 7 against the Steelers, and now he had 21 in this game. And not only did we utilize him in, to catch the ball, we had end arounds. 2 end arounds with him. He hit a huge big play down the field. He was getting open. He was making plays. He showed us why we drafted him in the 4th round. Now, you might say, well, yeah, that was against the scrubs the Browns put out there. That wasn't the starters. I don't care. Even if you put him out there and he doesn't do much of anything, I just want to see him out there. I want to see him do something. I wanted to see him against the Steelers, against the Vikings, against the Colts. I wanted to see him throughout the season to know what we have in this guy. And even against the scrubs, okay, he looked pretty damn good. He was fast. He was getting open. He was making plays. Also, a little side note here, Chase Brown, kickoff returner now? I still think that's interesting. Kickoff returner Chase Brown. Mitchell Wilcox played 28% of the snaps. Tanner Hudson, 47%. Again, Irv Smith was a healthy scratch. 73% of the snaps for Drew Sample at 47 snaps. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Irv Smith's going to get another contract with someone else. He has to, right? And the good thing about this year for Irv Smith is Well, I guess not really as much because he did get hurt. Like what? He missed like 2 or 3 games. Yeah, 3 games with injury. No, 2 games with injury because week 7 was our bye. He missed 2 games with injury, but the whole thing about him is always he's injury prone. I feel like his campaign with us this year has ruined his shot of getting any type of contract anywhere else. Like I said, I know he will, but the question is how much and who's going to have faith in him after looking at how he did for us this year. I feel like that's just really a poor situation for him. And then going down this list here, 19 snaps for BJ Hill. Zach Carter played 60% of the snaps. Trey Hendrickson only played 43% of the snaps, which I know a lot of fans, myself included, I know John in the chat was saying, is that it's really sad because, you know, we really wanted him to get the sack leader or the sack number of what's called 6 sacks would be for the single season. 3 sacks would have been for just the game, but he didn't really play. He got only 43% of the snaps, which that's not really much at all. And a little bit of me understands why they didn't play all of our starters the whole entire game because they didn't want to get them injured. But you're about to go into the offseason. You're about to have the whole offseason to, you know, rest up and do what you want. I feel like we should have just went out there and said, who cares if they're all backups? Play as hard as you can against a very tough opponent that is always tough against us and do your best to score as much as possible. Myles Murphy, though, 60% of the snaps. We saw what we saw out of him. And that's another thing I will say, little side note here, just adding one to that, is that also the reason why he only played 43% of snaps is because we wanted to see our backups. We wanted to see our backups in there more, see what our backups could do, and see what we can get out of our backups. So see what we can get out of Myles Murphy, right? If you play Trent Henderson more, Myles Murphy isn't playing 60% of the snaps, right? So I understand it, like I said before. It's just the dog in me, as they would say, wanted to absolutely stick it to them. But 26 snaps, 49% of snaps for Joseph Asai. Going down this list here, Joe Bacci, 9% of the snaps. Marcus Bailey, 28% of the snaps. And then for the cornerback position, Sidney Jones actually played 38% of the snaps. DJ Turner, 100%. Mike Hilton, 62%. Cheeto was a healthy scratch. Or not a healthy scratch, but he was injured, so he wasn't playing. He actually showed up on the injury report at the end of this week. So, yeah, he was not. He was out for that game. 62% snap for Cam Taylor-Britt, 22% or 42% for Jalen Davis. Poison Ivy obviously out for the season. Dax Hill, 100%. Nick Scott, 15%. And 81% for Jordan Battle. So, overall, not bad. You know, listen, I'm going to kind of say it like this, that this season as a whole was an interesting one. We dealt with probably more adversity than a lot of other teams. I know Cleveland has as well. And by the way, just a little side note here, Cleveland, because I still get comments. We put all our backups in. Quarterback you did. Your starting running back, 36% of the snaps against us. Okay? Just say. Your second string running back, 13% of the snaps versus us. I say, well, it was only 13. You only had so many offensive snaps because our defense destroyed you. Your starting special teamer, 51% of the snaps. Elijah Moore, you know your number 1, number 2 receiver, 11% of the snaps. Your number 3 receiver, 64% of the snaps. Yes, you put in your backups outside of that. I will agree with that. Second string tight end, 66. Third string tight end, 64. Dalvin Tomlinson. I can't look at offensive linemen because it doesn't show offensive linemen. But Jordan Elliott and Shelby Harris, both of them, 70%, 38%. They're your 1A, 1B at the tackle. Sorry, not 1A, 1B. They're second and third string here. Because, again, I even saw some people say, like, oh, well, the guys that we played against on Sunday had, like, 5 snaps. Or the first snaps they ever got. Not one single player that they put out there has not gotten a snap this year. Not one single player. Jordan Elliott, 444 snaps. He played majority of the game. 442 snaps for Shelby Harris this year. He played majority of the game. Ika is a rookie. He's a rookie. I think he was a 4th-round draft pick. Yes, he played 100 snaps this year. And yes, he played a lot in that game. Okay. But at the end of the day, he's gotten snaps this year. Even going down this list here, I mean, you have Ojo, whatever his name, 445 snaps this year. 388 snaps. So again, like I said, yes, they did put in backups. They didn't play all their starters. There was a lot of starters that were out of this game completely. But for those who think that they had guys that only played one snap, no. They played players that played a lot of snaps this year. The lowest, I think, was 44, I want to say. Unless I'm incorrect, let me check. 27. The lowest snap count a player played in this game was 27, unless James... 27. So 27 and then 44 was the lowest. So, and again, I'm not saying that was a crazy amount of snaps. It's not, obviously, right? But to say that they only played one snap, that's not true. And to say that there's no player that played that doesn't have a lot of snaps, 445 snaps on the year. I mean, we have players who played who have less snaps than these guys. Shelby Harris, 442. Again, I'm not trying to start beef with the Brown fans here, but it's just, I find it funny when this stuff is said. Same thing with Baltimore Ravens against the Steelers. Tyler Huntley, obviously, he's not starter. He's a backup quarterback, right? It is what it is. Gus Edwards is a starting running back. 33% of the snaps against the Steelers. Justice Hill, 54% of the snaps. Going down this list here. Rashad Bateman, 47% of the snaps. He's their number 2 receiver. Well, number 3, I guess, because Zay Flowers was having such a good rookie season. Nelson Aguilar, he's their 4th receiver. 100% of the snaps. Isaiah Likely, 2nd tight end. 33% of the snaps. Justin, I can't ever say his last name correctly. He is their starting right end. 40% of the snaps. Michael Pierce, 56% of snaps. Starting D tackle. Broderick Washington, 47%. Travis Jones, 65%. Brian Irvin, 50%. Clowney, 40%. I mean, the list goes on and on, okay? Like, Patrick Queen, 82%. Kyle Van Noy, starting with outside linebacker for the Ravens, 48% of the game. Brandon Stevens, their number 1 corner outside of Marlon Humphreys, 100% of the snaps. Geno Stone, starting strong safety, actually backup strong safety to Kyle Hamilton. Marcus Williams, starting strong free safety, 100% of the snaps. For those who are going to sit there and say, oh, we put our backups in. You beat our backups. Not really. You can say it if that makes you feel better. But when the snap count comes out and it shows that that's not your backups and a lot of those are starters and you lost with your starters out there too. Not every starter, right? We didn't lose 100%. You didn't lose 100% to the team that you had out there that were 100% starters. There was a lot though. And you lost. It is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one.